everyone, welcome back to another episode of Friends from Work. I'm Tom, this is Sean, and on today's episode, we are going to be reviewing and discussing Season 4 of The Mandalorian. But before we do that, do us a favor, leave a like right now, subscribe down below, follow us on TikTok and Instagram. Links are on the screen and down below.
Spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers, big spoilers. Other than that, let's get right into it. My general thoughts was, one word for it, lackluster. For the most part, the last couple of episodes really kind of brought back that enjoyment I had with it. But I want to give it some saving grace here. I think this is my guess why it went so bad initially was so Boba Fett. So prior to Boba Fett, Jon Favreau had full creative control with Mandalorian, his story, etc. He did not have it for Boba Fett, or Book of Boba Fett, whatever you want to call it. And so when that happened, and Season 3 came around, he was pissed when he had no creative control. It screwed up whatever story he was trying to tell initially. So when Season 3 came, or Season 4, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
4 now.
Season 4 came around for Mandalorian. Producers or whoever were like, oh, so what would you like us to do? He's like, give me full creative control or I am leaving. Like, he was pissed. And he's like, I'm not working here anymore. I'm not doing anything Star Wars related with you guys if you don't give me full creative control. Because what you did is screw up my story because it was such a mess. So I think that's the reason why this season was pretty lackluster for two reasons. He had to, clean up the mess. And fill in holes that whoever was in creative control prior of Book of Boba Fett, whatever they screwed up in his main Mando story, and they had to clean that up. And then B, to also get back to his original storyline, which is, I'm not going to go too much in the finale right now, but the last scene, how it ended, it feels like we're getting a good restart, and we're going to see.
Yeah, I mean, I always thought Book of Boba Fett was like a waste. I felt like they should the only good episodes of Book of Boba Fett were the ones with Mando in them. They should have just like extended Season 3 by 2 episodes and threw 2 Boba Fett episodes in there.
Yeah,
like, I did not necessarily like him. I just thought like I didn't care what his arc was going on. I was like, where's Mando? I didn't know that about Jon Favreau. I agree this season was lackluster. Definitely boring as hell to start at the beginning. They give you, like, I just feel like a lot of the episodes were like filler, except for the last 10 minutes.
Yeah. Like
the first 4 or 5 episodes were just nothing. And then they were just like filming bullshit Star Wars stuff going on. And then it didn't really mean anything, like with the scientists. Like,
I wrote that down.
Full circle till episode 7 or 8, and really it never even did.
No, he didn't. He was involved.
And they did like a whole episode on that guy,
and it didn't matter.
And it didn't matter at all. And then they did the droid. The droid, they were like droid detectives or whatever. Like with Lizzo, was that Lizzo?
Yeah, it was Lizzo and Jack Black.
Lizzo and Jack Black. They're like Lizzo or droid bounty hunters. It's like the whole episode made no. They did all that just to talk to the Mandalorians. Yeah. When they could have just been like, oh, no, we're not doing it. Flew out, went and talked to them. Like, so, and then even the one with the pirates even was kind of like, it was like
cool action.
Yeah, like again, like it looked cool. That fight scene looked cool. Even the ones with the droids, it kind of looked cool when they're tracing the droid down. That was a cool battle droid. But it just like was a bunch of filler episodes just to get to the final 3, which finally. Moff Gideon's back, and things like that, and then they're finally getting back into the actual storyline and actual things going on. Yeah,
and like I said, I think that's what it was, and that's why it was pretty lackluster. And Jon Favreau had a huge mountain to climb with whatever mess he had come back.
I think it was more in his head. I don't think it was a mess. I just thought it was a waste of time. I don't think. Like I said, I don't know what his story was.
Yeah, but like I said, that's what I'm assuming. That's why I'm giving.
Yeah, but that's terrible to ruin everything. Like the next thing because the last thing was bad. It's just been like.
Well, because no, it was my guess is probably when Grogu came back to Mando on Book of Boba Fett. That's probably what he was upset about, was that because it was really rushed. Like the whole point of Season 3 was like he was going and now he's going to go train to be a Jedi, and that was probably what was going to happen in this season. And then they were going to come together. We all knew that at some point, but it was like super rushed in an episode for Book of Boba Fett, and then because they were just trying to get some selling points for Book of Boba Fett to have that episode or two. and it kind of ruined whatever his initial video. Like we don't know his true whole story vision, but I'm going off that. If he was that upset with the series of Book of Boba Fett and it threw off his trajectory of whatever he was going long term.
I guess I make an excuse for him. I just thought this wasn't his best work.
No.
I was cool with the Grogu leaving the Jedi thing, but I like the Mandalorians, but it just feels whack and forced that they're like, oh, we're all pretending like Grogu's gonna be a Mandalorian. Like, was he gonna wear a helmet? Like, like have a jetpack on his back? Like,
that'd be awesome.
I mean, it would be, but I'm just saying, like, what is he like hundreds of years from being?
I was
that
actually
big?
gonna explain that too. I want to go. We'll actually go to that right now. Is when he became an apprentice. In my head, I'm like, are they gonna have to skip some year? Like, what are they gonna do? Like, is he still going to be in that? It's destroyed now, actually. But like that robot, yeah, or something. I don't know. That's what I'm curious about because he's not big.
Yeah, it's like
and he doesn't talk. So I'm like very curious.
Eventually they're gonna make a time hopper. It's like it's gonna be like some weird stuff. Like he's a bug and he goes into a cocoon and then comes out. And he's bigger. Like I don't know.
I don't know
like,
what's gonna happen.
Like
because they said they age super slow. Like they already put themselves in a pigeonhole.
Yeah, to where they're gonna have to like fast forward 20 years.
Yeah, Mando's old as hell now.
Yeah, exactly.
So I actually want to give some fun facts. I'm not sure if you saw this on social media, but with the backstory when Groku's being saved during Order 66, that Jedi who saved him was actually the original actor who played Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah, I do know that, yeah.
And
I saw him doing something because he said he got a lot of hate or something.
Yeah, so I've seen this a lot. I knew kind of about it, but recently, ever since I started like really paying attention to like the Star Wars universe in general, the prequels got so much hate. Like for a lot.
Well, I know Jar Jar Binks was always a joke.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize they like were messing with like it's a voice actor, right?
Yeah.
Like,
no, like he would have
like something on his head. Sometimes it looks CGI.
He was on set.
Sometimes it was CGI.
Yeah,
though, right?
It was all CGI, but they just had like a dummy head for CGI purposes during that time. But he was. It's on
like
set.
I didn't realize people were like messing with him. Particular
death threats, stuff.
It wasn't
like
even him. Like
right. Just acting. He's like it was.
But
really,
not even was he just acting. It's like not even his body. Like he's like not. It's like under the helmet. It's like it's one thing to not like Anakin. Like that's Anakin's playing. You know what I mean? Not like the guy who's playing Anakin. Yeah. It's like you don't like the guy who's doing the voice of the character. Yeah. Like what the fuck?
Yeah, it was really disappointing. It was sad to hear these stories because like it was like so bad. Like I mean,
yeah, I did see something like that. I didn't go into detail because I really don't care because it's like boohoo, you're rich. Yeah. But
I don't think he's that rich.
I mean, richer than me, so it's like,
I guess.
I don't hear your stories.
No, it was unfortunate because I mean, I will say that the Star Wars fan base is pretty toxic when it gets to it.
I'm sure.
That's every fan base, I will say.
That was an awesome scene too. I wrote that down on my notes. The flashback scene was really good.
Yeah, it was really
all the CGI, like the CGI, they're flying around the ships was beautiful.
Beautiful.
Like there are a lot of boring, wasteful moments in this
We're
season.
talking about the story, but
in my opinion, but it looked really good. The battles in space are just amazing. When the TIE fighters are fighting the X-wings and even when when they're having the little blaster fights, the Mandalorians when they're storming in with their jetpacks looks really cool as well.
The final fight scene, I call it like the jetpack battle. That was probably the best CGI I saw for the whole season. It looked really detailed, really crisp, and it was 100% CGI. You can kind of tell, but like
it's just because a couple good ones. Like I said, I liked.
That was my personal favorite.
When they were in space fighting in the TIE fighters and the X-wings, I thought it looked really good. And when they came back and fought the pirate guy, I thought that looked really good.
Yeah. Some other things I thought about too is when it was a first year, I forgot which episode. I think maybe it was 2. When they were doing the training camps for like the foundlings and apprentices, I was like watching the montage or not montage, but cut throughs of it, and I'm like, they're like it's training, and like they're shooting fire at each other. Like I always thought about that. Like, why are these training camps so late? We're just practicing, like,
or like when they let them fight, they're like, these guys are fighting to the death, or what? Like,
like it's aggressive. Like he's
when the dude wouldn't take his helmet out, the big dude, and the other guy fought. I'm like, is this to the death?
Like we gotta let them work it out. They're gonna die.
Yeah, it's like we're just gonna let them. I'm like, one of them's trying to stab the other one.
Yeah,
like,
I guess boys being boys.
Yeah, toxic masculinity right there.
But That was actually pretty. That was cool. That the big guy. I never got his name, but
I forgot what it was.
They really never said it. I will say.
I'm sure they do say it.
But they made a point this season to say Din Djarin a lot.
Yeah.
So then we knew because we kept calling him the Mandalorian. So they made a point.
They got the memo.
Yeah.
My name's Din Djarin. It's like freaking Zelda. Everybody calls him
Zelda.
They call Link Zelda.
Yeah. But no, it was sad to see him.
Mando.
Yeah.
Like you guys are all Mandalorians and he's Mando.
He's Mando. Mandalorian. He's Mando. But yeah, it was. I liked his death. It was really good. It just felt fitting.
Yeah, that was good. It was good for him. I liked that a lot. It was cool.
Like I said, the last 2 episodes, I want to make sure I get through all the points general prior to the last 2 episodes. Cause I think we'll have a lot of good points about that. Jetpack battle. It was actually really cool that we're starting to see the setup of the First Order officially. You know what I mean? Like they got the first rendition of the Dark Troopers. Obviously, it's different when we see Last Jedi and stuff like that. It looks like they upgraded, but it was really cool seeing that.
I wrote that down too. That again, a lot of this stuff was just pointless, but I guess it was showing us a lot of the bureaucracy of not only the Empire but the New Republic and them trying to set up their new like. It felt like it was like a microcosm, like our time, where like the government just works like shit, and, like doesn't work properly, and they just both sides are really bad. Both sides think they're the good guys, and both like they even though Empire was saying we got a lot of supporters everywhere, and he's like any planet we go, we got supporters. Like so it was like painting this picture that like it wasn't like the Empire was the it was more like a civil war where they were like the Democrats versus the Republicans type of thing.
I agree with that. I will say they set up a lot of like the political aspects. I think I really noticed that a lot more when I was watching Obi-Wan. I think they did a lot better.
They've been doing they're making a point of it because it's clearly like that's what's going on in our life. Yeah. So they're trying to like tie it in because Andor was basically all about that too.
Like I said, the Obi-Wan, Andor, or you said Andor. Those shows I think did a lot better than this current season. Well, this was not really about it was kind of.
It was. I'm just saying there was just like some moments like with that one chick who was working for Moff Gideon. Yeah. She's like, oh, they did a whole episode on them where like we're the group that
we used to work for.
Yeah, we're the bad guys, and we're I can't
trying to become better.
Yeah.
I forgot they had a name, but I know.
Yeah, I forgot what it was too, but like that just felt like they were making a point to show that like not necessarily both sides were super bad. Like they all were all fucked up. I thought it was dope Moff Gideon came back. I was wondering who the bad guy was going to be.
Yeah, because there really was no direction. Yeah. Like they would set up like initial setup was we're going to take back Mandalore. And then it was kind of like that, but then they brought back Moff Gideon. I guess it makes sense. But
Moff
no
was
hints.
on Mandalore.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
So it came full circle, I guess, when that's why he's like, we got to stop them because I got a base there and I'm making stuff. Like,
got trinkets. But no, I will say, 7 and 8 were definitely easily the best episodes of this whole season.
Sure. They really saved it. I was pretty bored out of my mind.
Yeah, I will say,
them. It felt like a CW show where they were doing filler.
Yeah,
that's where it's like, oh, we're detectives this episode.
Yeah.
Oh,
like a classic cable TV.
Yeah, it was like, oh, we're gonna hunt down some robots this episode. We're gonna fight some pirates in this one. It's like, and at the last 5 minutes of each episode, it'd be like, oh, this is, you know what I mean? They do something moving the plot forward. But the final 5 minutes of the fucking episode, you know what I mean? 90% of it didn't matter.
No. So with these last 2 episodes, I will say, actually, prior to going back, I initially didn't like them setting up Bo-Katan, because it really did feel like she became OP to an extent.
What do you mean OP?
There was a fight, that droid episode, where Mando was handling it as best he could, and then he was about to get the shot, and then Bo-Katan took it. That kind of bothered me. I was like, I guess.
Well, she's a beast.
She is a badass.
Yeah,
I will say.
Bo-Katan, you don't watch Rebels and stuff, so they're probably, if they don't do her own spin-off, I'm assuming Mando's gonna be like, Mandalorian's gonna be like half about her moving forward.
Yeah.
Like, okay. Unless they do her own thing, just because, like I said, she's the leader of the Mandalorians, and they're pretty dope, as you can see.
Yeah, I think we'll see it. They're calling it a Mandoverse, so they're actually setting up a movie. I think they're doing a.
That's what I'm saying. Something will be like where
they're doing a Mandalorian movie, like for
and I bet
Pedro
she's
Pascal.
like just for Pedro Pascal.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I bet she gets something where it's just her.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. But I will say, I feel like this season, though, in general, I feel like, again, till the last 2 episodes, that Din Djarin or Mando was pretty nerfed. Like we saw in the last couple episodes, he was like back to him like himself, like kicking ass, taking names. But it felt like the prior episode, the episodes prior, he wasn't really doing that, getting his ass handed to him all the time.
I guess I feel like the old ones he was getting his ass handed to him, but nobody was there to help him. So at the end of the day, he had to figure out. In all this ones, it'll be like he'll get beat up, and then him and Bo-Katan win. Like she'll help him. Like so, it kind of makes him not seem OP because he doesn't have to figure it out by himself. I'd put more of that. I felt like a lot of the fights were like that. Everybody like somebody would get beat up, and then Mando would show up, or somebody from the Mandalorians would show up, or Grogu would help.
Yeah.
Like it's just.
Speaking about Grogu, one thing that didn't make sense to me was that robot thing. In my head, it's like, so he wants to protect him, right? And he puts him in a slow ass robot, and like he's like, yeah, you can come to battle with me.
Well, he normally comes in that ball though, which is slow too.
But
right?
it's like, no, it's fast. Like it goes at the same pace as Mando. But like the robot's like, but he's and then he can fully cover up in it. And but there was like nothing there for him. I'm like, and he's in and just no, I like that though. I was like, yes,
that was
yes,
funny. That was funny though. That was a really funny scene where he puts him in the thing and he's like, no, no. He's like, yes.
that was every time they used it too. When they were fighting, when Mando was fighting some of the Dark Troopers or whatever, and Grogu was coming over, you're sure, no. It was just funny. So I will say that was pretty funny, and it was very tastefully done.
Fight between the two Mandalorians.
Yeah,
he's like no.
Yeah, yeah. I would say Grogu was definitely more of a comedic.
Yeah, he stole the show. They saved the day with him in the final couple episodes, and made it into some awesome episodes.
Oh, the fire when he
when he used the Force to save all of them.
So I'm really curious. Well, I also want to speak about this. Is what do you think they're gonna do with Grogu? I know we kind of briefed on it a little bit, but. How do you think they're gonna keep him that small? Because now like he's upgrading in life, he's growing like in the sense of
I think so. Just because that you said they pigeonholed themselves, or like unless they're like, oh, eat this pill that ages you 100 years.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean. Like we all know they age slow, and Yoda never got big either. So it's like maybe they'll do like, oh, fast forward 20 years and he can talk and he can run around like a person.
Something.
Yeah, but he's still really tiny. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking with that. The idea is good. I would have just made it like a bigger version, like not the helpless baby version, where like I would have made it like a little young Yoda who can jump, like who was like a little kid who had you know what I mean, you can hand a gun to and things like that. But I don't know what they're gonna do. But I do think with this success they did, I would have always done like a young Yoda show, like to go back hundreds and hundreds of years when he first became a Jedi, when he was learning to use the lightsaber and stuff. I think that'd be cool.
I think that'll probably be coming. I mean, I'm expecting a Darth Vader series at some point because Hayden Christensen's very happy to be back and wants to be a part of it. He was at the Star Wars convention thing.
I'd be down for that.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Vader was awesome.
People are starting to hate on Obi-Wan, by the way. I saw a lot of hate recently. I'm like, I don't know why. It was a great show.
Yeah. Well, Star Wars fans have their problem is like it's been so popular for like 30, 40 years. Yeah. And, like people got their own like fan fiction or like what Obi-Wan was doing in that time and things like that. And this kind of like.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. This way.
Yeah. But if you didn't like those fight scenes, like that's some of the best Star Wars fighting with lightsabers and the Force there is.
Yeah, I would say. So I'm thinking here, guys. Yeah. With this series in general, though, it was pretty disappointing. But I will say, due to the finale, I believe it or not, I am actually quite excited for the next season.
I don't know if excited the word, but I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Yeah. Just because of the fact I feel like I said he did like a universe reset, so to speak. Like we'll probably get a Bo-Katan series where they kind of focus on the Mandalorians and what they're doing, and they just set up. It even says like, "Hey, my trade is a bounty hunter. I want to get back to that." Yeah. And he's on his own little house, so he's just back on his own again, or so to speak. But I think we're gonna see that. I think the next season. We'll probably see the First Order being built, but I think it's going to be bounties, and it's going to kind of clash with Bo-Katan, and they're going to like, oh well.
I guess kind of how this one went.
Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't as good though. No. But now it seems like we have a set story here, and I'm very excited to see it. Honestly, I'm curious when that's coming out. Probably how long was it between last season and this season? 2 years.
Yeah, if you're not did it come out after Boba Fett or before? It came out after Boba Fett, right? Mandalorian season 3. It's only been like maybe a year and a half then.
Oh, okay, so not too bad.
Yeah, they're usually pretty quick about it.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be a lot better than this season.
I hope so. Like I said, I was just really disappointed
because they have everything now. The story's their oyster. Like Jon Favreau set it up to where now it's a clean slate, and he can go on with whatever story, everything, whatever he had to get resolved. Behind the scenes,
I don't know what he was trying to do, so I guess it might come full circle when he does the next season, where it was like, oh, he had to do this. So we'll see.
What would you rate it?
I'd give it like a 6.
Yeah.
We did our episode about what I thought might flop, and I put this was like on my honorable mention list. I just had a feeling, like I said, the highs for Mando are so high that it's hard to come back down to reality. They had Ahsoka last season. They had Luke the one before that. I mean, well, Luke was in last season too.
Yeah.
And it's like Luke. The finale was Luke saving the day. It's like now in this one it was just like it didn't fall on his face. They kind of saved it. The finale, the last 2 episodes were good. They were really good. The
felt like
great.
Classic Mando.
Yeah, classic. There was a lot of. I wouldn't say classic Mando. There was a lot of fighting. It was like all the Mandalorians versus the Empire, and it was really cool. The CGI was great. Grogu really got to shine. He finally got out of his shell and really was like using the Force and being useful and saving the day. And I did like that, but I just think the rest of it was just so boring. Besides the last 2 episodes, it just Jack Black was kind of funny. I think they've dropped the ball, not getting him in something better. He pops on screen. They should have got a better role for him to like really. Yeah. And again, they were all pretty boring. I was pretty bored up until about episodes halfway through, like 6 and 7, and then it really started to pick up because it got into the actual storyline of this season. The rest felt like nothing. Like I said, the scientists were like, "Oh, that's kind of cool. What's that building up? What are they making clones of?" And
nothing.
Like, yeah, he's dead.
Yeah,
or whatever. They got captured.
Yeah, it didn't even matter. He didn't even like. It would have made sense if like they. You know, it would have made sense when they walked through that cleaner room. He was like chained up or something, you know.
Yeah. Well, it would have made sense if like she extracted his knowledge from him first, then got him get arrested. Like it was just like pointless.
Yeah. I actually gave it a 6.5, so pretty close to yours. Same reasons. 7 and 8 were obviously the best, and I was super entertained, and I was enjoying it. You felt the emotion, and it didn't fall flat. You were really gripping with the story, and it was very. Easy to sponge up, but the episodes prior, it felt like a classic cable TV show, very mind-numbing in the sense of like just sitting there watching it just to watch it, seeing where it goes, having high hopes, seeing maybe next episode will get better.
It was just like
it just sat there, and I was like, all right, it's okay. But I am very looking forward to the next season. I think we're gonna. Before I say that, I want to say the CG, like he said, the CGI, the cinematography is really well done. They always really do good with the sets and everything. Yeah. Jon Favreau has a really good eye.
Amazing, yes.
Yeah, and they always make sure they complement that properly. But yeah, I am looking forward to next season because it feels like we got a clean slate in our hands and we can kind of do whatever story or set up whatever story he wanted to. I think that's what his goal was, to have a clean slate and go back to whatever Jon Favreau was really trying to tell
let's get some more
initially.
Jedis in here.
Yeah, because we're still hatching back the initial Order 66 and how he escaped, so to speak.
Yeah.
We're getting towards the tail end of it based off the flashbacks. But yeah, this was it for this episode, guys. If you do me a favor, leave a like right now, subscribe down below, follow us on TikTok and Instagram. Links are on the screen down below. And let us know in the comment section what you thought about Mando. What was your favorite episode? Should Lizzo be a main character? Other than that, I'm Tom. This is Sean, and we'll see you guys next episode. Take care.